What is the word, y'all? This is Mind Fit with yours truly, Shannon Vick. Today I'm talking about the honeymoon stage of New Year's resolutions, right? Okay, I kind of said slow because I had to think about what I was going to say there. So the honeymoon stage of New Year's resolutions. The reason why I say the honeymoon stage is because in life, a lot of us, just as humanity, if you look at our history, the history of humans, right? The history of humanity, we love new things. We love a new car. We love a new home. We love a new cologne, a new perfume, a new hoodie, a new sweater, a new pair of shoes, a new hat. We love new things. It's exciting. It raises our dopamine levels. Like, it gets us geeked up. That's why Amazon's like through the roof, because when you order from Amazon, you're like anticipating that package. In fact, I myself have been anticipating a package from Amazon today. And by the way, Amazon, Jeff Bezos, it says it's running late. And so I probably won't get it today, but hopefully I do. But anyway, what I'm saying is we love new things, okay? And sometimes new things, for the most part, I think it brings a sense of excitement, especially when it is our choice towards that new thing. Like if you're choosing to get something new, that there tends to be excitement. If it's not a choice per se, where it's like a new thing that's coming upon you, like maybe you have a new boss, or maybe your job wherever that you're working at is shifting positions, and so they're moving you to a new department. That could be a little bit of anxiety. You can feel a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of anxiousness, a little bit of nervousness. Maybe you're not as excited. So not every new opportunity that comes necessarily leads to excitement, but most opportunities that come that are new based on our choices do lead to excitement. So with the New Year's resolution, I think most of us, again, the history of humanity, we love a fresh start. We love a new start. I know for me particularly, 2022 was not my best year. It wasn't the best year for me personally. It wasn't the best year for me from an entrepreneurial standpoint, business-wise. There was a lot of things that transpired that took place in 2022, still the remnants of 2020 and COVID, and having to deal with that as a business owner, that really affected me. And so I said, you know what, going into 2023, like, I looked at 2022 as a particular season that was like, okay, I can't wait for this season to be over with. I can't wait for this new season to start for 2023. So I understand the excitement of starting off the new year, but there also has to be resolutions versus reality. And the reason why I say reality is because you have to understand that, for instance, I'm going to take this, okay? The classic, the number one thing that we always hear with New Year's resolutions is I want to lose more weight. I want to get in better shape. Okay, that's one of the top 5 things I think most people, most people who have goals, that happens to be on their list. Another one is I want to, travel more. I want to eat better. I want to whatever. So I say all that to say this, that when you look at the New Year's resolution of losing weight, okay, if you look at it from a whole year and say that I want to lose X amount of pounds this year, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and you're also setting yourself up for failure, because right now you're in the honeymoon stage of New Year's resolution. So everything that you say that you want to do feels right. It feels great to say I want to lose 100 pounds. It feels great to say I want to travel more. It feels great to say that I'm going to eat out less. But then there's the reality of it, right? There's the reality of compromise. There's the reality of feeling comfortable and saying, hey, you know what? I know I want to lose 100 pounds, but I'm just going to have this pie because this week has been really hectic. It's been really stressful. And now it's January 26th and you had that pumpkin pie. It's January 15th and you had that cookie. And what happens from a mental standpoint, mental mind fit, we tend to just say, well, man, this month I messed up, or this week I messed up. And then we keep those mess ups going. And then what happens? 2024 comes around, and what are we saying? We're saying the same thing that we said in 2023. This is going to be the year I'm going to lose weight. So what I'm saying is, it's okay to have those goals. It's okay to have New Year's resolutions. It's okay to have, new things that you want to accomplish in the new year. But you also have to understand that there's a honeymoon stage. And once that honeymoon stage is over, there's the reality of the words you spoke for things that you wanted to accomplish in the new year. So with that being said, what I've taken, and this is just the approach I've taken, I'm in the year of progression. Every day I'm progressing. I'm not necessarily putting pressure to say, hey, you know what? This is going to be the year 2023 where I'm going to get it all together. Because guess what? I'm human. I'm never going to get it all together. Neither are you. Those of you who are watching this and will be watching this, you're never going to have everything all together. It always feels so right to say whatever it is you want to say that you want to accomplish. But then there's a reality of it, of when you have that day that is bad, when you have that moment where you mess up. Are you going to revert back to the old ways and just say, well, hey, you know what? I'll just start over again next year. No, you can't. You have to continue to progress. You have to understand that there's resolution, there's reality. The reality is, hey, you know what? I want to set this goal out, but there's probably going to be some bumps in the way, but that's okay because I'm going to keep pushing forward. And so that's the mindset that we have to take going into the 2023 year. And not even necessarily the year, but more so this season. I like to do daily resolutions. I like to, my focus this year is time management. You know, I think we are all victims of scrolling. Scrolling can be it's like the number one drug, I think, out there. Like, forget sugar, forget crack cocaine. Not that I've ever tried those things. But scrolling, I think we can all, is the common denominator of the number one drug that we just do. We scroll to death. We just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling until we can find something of interest. And then once we find something of interest, we'll impede on that for whatever time it takes to get rid of lose our interest, and then we scroll to the next thing. And so my thing is to scroll less. And when I find myself doing that, I'm like, oh, I had to remind myself, let me stop. Let me focus on what I need to do because I want to be productive. I want to be able to go home at night and say, hey, you know what? I did everything that I set out to do. So make daily resolutions. Like, know that there's nothing wrong with setting a daily resolution. And if you mess up, it's okay, because guess what? Your New Year's resolution starts now. Your new day resolution starts now. If you're somebody, okay, let me just break it down like this. If you're somebody who's trying to quit smoking, instead of saying being a cold turkey, like most of us are when the new year comes up, hey, I'm going to stop doing this. And then you do it, and then you set yourself back because in your mind you thought you could stop, but you couldn't. So you continue on the same path. That's the key. Progression is such an underrated thing. People don't think about progression. They just think, I have to stop and I have to stop cold turkey. No, you have to progress. Most success comes through progression. Most things that we accomplish in life has always come through progression. Success happens by the ability to progress. Okay, does that make sense? So understand and look at your history. Things that you set out to do, things that you've accomplished has always come by progression. Whether it's a promotion, you didn't just go to the job and become manager right away. That does happen in certain instances, but in most cases you have to work your way up, which means there's a progression, right? When I started my business of Iron Fist Fitness, I started in my basement. And I was able to build and progress my clientele to the point where I was able to move into a location. And I'm still progressing to this day. Even though I had a lot of setbacks last year and I made, already tough decisions going into 2023, I'm pivoting, but in my pivot, I understand that there's going to be progression. It's not going to be like, hey, I'm starting this new program next month and 100 people are going to show up. That would be awesome. Like, man, I would love that. But the reality of it is that that's not probably going to happen. I might have one or two, if that. It's something that I'm going to have to continue to build upon. It's something that I'm going to have to continue to push, and I'm going to have to continue to progress. So fast forward, maybe by next year at this time, I will have some established numbers. Does that make sense? So whatever you set out to do, don't get discouraged when you mess up. Go into it with the mindset that you are going to make a mistake, that mistakes are going to happen, that bumps along the road are going to happen. But it's how you react to those bumps in the road or those mistakes along the way. That is really the whole mindset behind Mind Fit, is that we are mentally tough enough to be able to understand and grasp the reality of having a New Year's resolution and not being able to fulfill it the second or third week. Maybe the first week we did good, we're feeling good about ourselves, our emotions are high, motivation's there, but then week 2, week 3, week 4, the honeymoon stage emotions start to go down. You know what I'm saying? So there's a honeymoon stage to everything. So understand that. When you understand that, that's going to allow you to be able to accomplish your goals a lot more effectively, as opposed to just going into it with the mindset of I'm going to accomplish this, and there's going to be no bumps in the road, and then a bump happens, and you're like, oh man, you mentally set yourself back because you're like, well, this day is a wash, I might as well just start all over tomorrow, or this week's a wash, I might as well start over next week, or this year, man, I just can't do it this year, I'll start over again next year, and then you find yourself repeating the same thing next year that you just said the previous year. So understand that. Make sure you also find accountability. Okay, let me say that again. Make sure you find accountability. Okay, let me say that again. Make sure you find accountability. Sounds better. Okay, third time. Make sure you find accountability, because accountability is something that having someone in your corner who is there to, kind of push you, to kind of be that ear, to kind of be that voice, so that when you are having those moments of discouragement, or maybe, you made a mistake, or maybe, the honeymoon stage phase is over in your resolution and you're feeling down, you have that person to kind of coach you. Everybody needs a friend. Everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs somebody in their ear to be like, hey, you can do this, and do it with you. And so understand that. And then also have fun in the journey. Like, appreciate the ability to kind of be in a tough position, right? In a tough position, but be able to understand that God has given you the strength to not just take the fall and absorb the fall, but get up from the fall and keep pushing forward. Because anytime you want to go forward, you're going to fall, right? Think about when we were kids. When we were young kids, we would fall, right? But that didn't stop us from going forward, okay? That's a gem right there. Y'all better write that down. The fall is going to happen when you're progressing forward, okay? Because again, I think about my two sons when they were walking. If they would fall, what would they do? They would crawl. But they were still going forward. Then they would crawl, and guess what? They would stand. They would go forward. They would fall. So what happens is there was a progression, and now they're running. Does that make sense? So there's progression in everything, and as long as we can grasp that and understand that, man, it makes us achieving that goal or those goals a lot easier. Okay, so I hope this was beneficial for you guys. I hope this was helpful. Man, make sure you like, you subscribe, make sure you comment, subscribe to my vibe. Okay, I got bars, y'all, and I'm gonna be dropping videos my goal is to try to drop videos every day. Now I know that, see, here's the reality. I know that I won't be able to do that. Some days I probably won't be able to drop a video, but I'll tell you this much. One thing you will see this year is consistency, because this is my calling, this is my passion, and so I will be dropping at least, if I'm not every day, 2 to 3 videos a week, just trying to encourage the masses. So tell people about Mind Fit with Shannon Vick. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to my vibe, make sure you comment, tell people, take that link up top or on the bottom or wherever it's at, that share button, and text like 20 of your friends and say, hey man, go follow my dude Shannon Vick with Mind Fit with Shannon Vick. This dude is spitting some gems. All right, so I love you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Continue to smile, be thankful that you're alive, and be productive. All right, this is Mind Fit with Shannon Vick. All right, let me say that again. This is Mind Fit with Shannon Vick. I messed up my last name. How do you mess up your own name? I'm 41 years old. I should know that by now. All right, y'all. Peace. Be easy.